Alright, class. Hi, class. The last thing we're going to do for this particular week is put a little bit of text on this drawing. Now, the rendering isn't going to be finished. We're going to be doing several other things, learning about shadows, learning about colors and textures, and a bunch of other things throughout this assignment. But I think this is plenty enough for 1 week's worth of work learning the basics of Illustrator. But we want to put some text on it, give it some name, and at least have your name on it. We're going to put a few other pieces of text, but we're going to use it as a way to do text. And text in Illustrator is pretty easy. I'm going to make a new layer, put it right below my CAD layer, and call it text. I'm going to put all my text on this layer. And to simply start out by doing text, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the T, and you're going to draw a box, and you're going to type in what you want to type in. Now, the first thing I'm going to type in happens to be a name for this project. I'm going to call mine House in Delhi. Think of a name for your own. Where do you want to live? Where maybe you think this house is? You do not have to go with Delhi. I imagine a lot of you will not want to do that. But at least with the color ranges I've been working with, something like Key West might not make much sense. But Denver might make sense. For my project. What do you think makes sense for you? Call it whatever you want. It doesn't have to be House in Delhi. You can come up with a different name. But I'm going to start there. I'm gonna come to here and hit return, and I'm going to type in rendered by Michael Tweed, which of course is my name. I drew this house, I designed it, if you will. So I could have put, my own name, but you guys are just rendering what I gave you. So call it rendered by Michael Tweed. I think sounds pretty good. Now this is just the default settings that Illustrator gives you, but changing size of text, font, all that stuff, it's really easy. I'm going to show you how to do that. It works like any word processing software. I'm going to select the piece of text I want to change. If I want to change the font, I click over here. I'm going to keep Myriad Pro because I like it. But I am going to make my title bold because it's my title, and I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to say 18-point font. Nonetheless, rendered by Michael Tweed, I don't think needs a change. 12-point regular font is fine. Go ahead and think about the font that you want to choose. There's lots of choices in Illustrator. Don't be afraid, certainly, as we're going to a little bit here, to mix sizes a font based on different things, but also don't be afraid to change your font style if you don't want to. If you want your title to be something different, it can look quite nice. A quick lesson that we might talk about, because this is digital design, sans serif fonts, which means fonts like you have here that don't have any little end things and whatnot, they read better on the computer. So since this is digital design, I'm going to do that. Things printed out, however, actually look better in serif. It's easier to read if the font size is small. So those are choices to be made, things to consider as you're making presentations, portfolios, and all of those. Really, the choice of what font is important. This is a simple font. It sort of goes to the simple geometry of my house. If you have a really fancy building, maybe use a fancier font. But that, I wouldn't want to use a fancy font with a simple building like I have. So those things all matter. But anyway, there's my title, there's my name. I'm going to put it there. You can put it wherever you want. The other pieces of text I want you to have are like drawing names. So I'm going to just redo the T. I'm going to come down here and draw a little box and call it second floor plan. And this is, the title size is too big. I'm going to change this. I'll keep bold maybe for this, but I'll change it to 12. And then I'm going to copy, since this is what I want for the first floor plan in elevation, I'm just going to go to my black arrow, hover over till it loses the tail, hit ALT so I see the little white arrow as well, hold shift to do it straight up and just plop it up there. I'm going to double click to start editing the text, and I'll just select this second part and change it to 1ST for first. I'm going to go back to my black arrow tool, move it up, click, straight up, and call this my front elevation. Now this isn't a technical document, so you do not have to use all capital letters. You may choose to do that. Some artists, they like to use all lowercase letters, but I'm going to go with the normal sort of upper and lowercase letters. So there's sort of I have my main title, my drawing titles. The last bits of text you'll need on here is room names. I'm not going to do all of my room names right in this video. I'll show you what the final version looks. But I'm going to start with living room. And I'm going to select it. In this case, I'm going to make it not bold. So I'm going to make it regular. And I'm going to even shrink it down a little bit. I'll go to 10. 11 might work well. And so again, this is the point, like using different size text for different things. You know, sometimes bold, sometimes not. That really can help hierarchy of how text read. The room names in this drawing aren't terribly important. So I'm going to put it there. I'm going to then use ALT and copy this up to make it kitchen. And so on and so forth. I mean, you guys know how room names to go and so on and so forth, so I could continue to put more in. I want to make one comment, because even I forget this sometimes. A word like living room. Living is a verb. ing is a verb. That means room is a separate word. If it is a verb like dining room, it's two words. Right? If the word is a noun like bedroom or bathroom, it is one word. I don't know why, but if I'm doing this, I might call this master bedroom. But it is two words. Now, if I have double line, Illustrator automatically return this. I could keep it two lines. I could either center it by clicking the center button right here, because that would be better if it's two lines. All right? Or I could stretch out that box and make it one line straight across, in which case I didn't need to center it necessarily, but I could have, but I didn't have to. So those are two techniques to dealing with something like that. Go ahead, bathrooms, laundry room, WC. You don't have to necessarily, for this assignment, put in things like closets. You might put in deck. You might put in the bedrooms, and I'm calling this thing a study down here. And so ultimately, I've got sort of a final solution over here. You can see all where I've decided to put text and when I've decided to call these room names. And with that, you can lock the layer and you can save it, and you'd print it out on 11 by 17. I'll actually, you know, I said this might be the last video, but why don't I just make one more about printing following this up? And this will be the end of this week's assignment, but again, we're going to use the same drawing and keep making it better over the course of the next couple of weeks. So good luck. Can't wait to see what you turn in.